Happy Sunday. I hope wherever you are and whatever you are doing, you are having an amazing weekend. It is getting dark in the garden, and don't worry, we're not going to stay out here very long because it's also raining and I don't want to get super wet. But we had snow last weekend, which was, that was fun. We had snow and everything was covered in snow, including the strawberries, including the garlic. And I think that all of that straw helped make sure that things didn't die off. The only thing that didn't have cover was my winter vegetables, which are still growing very, very slowly. Neither did my broad beans have any cover, but you know what? They're doing just fine. Broad beans apparently like the cold. They don't seem to have any issues, and the deer have stayed off them. But everything else, pretty much giving up for the winter. The chickens are doing okay. They are fed up. They've been going outside a little bit more lately because the weather's been nice. In between the heavy rain and the snow, the weather's been quite nice, so they've been playing in the dirt. I think that would be a nice way of putting it. What they've really been doing is just getting a little bit muddy and dirty. We have no eggs today, I don't think. Let's double check here. And those who have been asking about our Ford F-150 and the backup system, sadly, we do not have any good news on that yet. Unfortunately, we haven't had any further news about when that's all going to be fixed, but c'est la vie. We are waiting for a response from the folks at Sunrun. I know the lovely Tom Malogany has had his system installed and he had no problems. So I don't know why I'm having problems. Luck of the draw, I guess. This, in case you don't know, it's the massive Hummer EV that we have. It arrived today. It's Thursday when I'm recording this. And you know what? I already hate it. I'm sorry. It's a horrible vehicle to drive. It's got no connection to the road. There will be a real review coming very shortly. But the other thing I want to talk to you about is inside. So why don't you meet me inside where it's nice and warm and we can, enjoy a cup of tea or something. So one of the things that we don't talk about a whole lot when it comes to gardening is what you do in the winter with your plants that are too sensitive to stay outside in the cold. Now, I've left one of my fuchsias outside because it's hardy, it's in its pot, it's doing just fine, but my geraniums have all had to come inside. And one of the things that people sort of talk about fairly regularly is why have my geranium started doing things like this? This geranium has got, we call it very leggy because it's got very tall. It's because even though there's lots of light in this room during the day, we get a decent amount of natural light, the plants are desperately trying to find natural sunlight. And obviously it's nice and warm in here, or certainly a lot warmer in the house than it is outside. And we have... we do try and keep the temperature in this room a little cooler so the plants kind of go into a bit of a hibernation. But right now, as you can see, they still want to flower. So all of my geraniums are feeling a little bit leggy right now. Look at them. They're just being leggy. There's no other way to put it. And some of my other sensitive plants have come inside as well. But I do have some other plants over here that I wanted to show you. Don't think you've ever seen. Forgive my kitchen, it's in a bit of a mess. We haven't done the dishes today. But one of the things that I do want to discuss is my lovely African violet, which was given to me by the lovely Erin on the Transport Evolved staff, and my Christmas cactus, which is now starting to bud just in time for the holidays. I also have some orchids there that are doing lovely as well. Bringing plants in, making sure that they have nice, warm weather, or warm conditions through the winter, is a good way to make sure that you don't have to go and buy plants every year. And of course, it's very important that you make sure that you do some special research to make sure that you're not putting plants inside that should be outside in the winter. One plant that should definitely be inside here at the house is my abutilon. It's a type of maple, and it can't survive outside in the winter. It's got these lovely flowers on it. It can't survive in low temperatures. So if you are new to the whole gardening thing, make sure that you do some research to figure out whether your plants can survive inside or outside, and then figure out where you're going to put your plants. Obviously somewhere away from dogs is very useful. The other thing I wanted to show you is we just purchased this. It's a dwarf Alberta spruce, and we've put it in a bucket. It's a living tree, so it's not been cut. It's still got roots on. It's still in a pot with compost inside the orange bucket, and then we filled the orange bucket with water, which means that it continues to grow. Dwarf Alberta spruces don't grow very big. They sort of stay about this height. So this is one of 2 dwarf Alberta spruces that we own. The other one we purchased last year. We used that for Christmas last year. We're giving it a year off because it went a bit bald at the bottom. It's slowly growing back. And then this one is going to be our Christmas tree this year, and then I'll switch it around for the next year. And of course, having a living tree growing outside for most of the year, much, much better. The other thing I wanted to show you before my camera runs out is we have had no peppers all year, but this Serrano even pepper has decided to start producing a tiny, tiny little pepper just as we brought it inside. It's kind of cute. I don't know if it will finish growing before it gives up for the season, but hey, there you go. Anyway, that is it for the chicken and garden update. It is really nice to be inside in the warm. Normally I obviously do this outside, but it's just been so cold this week. We had snow last weekend, as you may have noticed. We did a winter tire test. We had some pretty heavy snow. It's all gone now, but there's supposed to be some more snow on the way next week. So keep your eyes peeled. We may be back inside here again next week. And on that note, we are done for today's video. If you liked it, you know what to do. Feel free to tip us with a super thanks, and the comments are open for your thoughts, as is our Discord chat room. There's a link below. If you want more, do subscribe, hit the bell, and follow the links to become a regularly supporting member, either with a YouTube membership or with a Patreon subscription. You'll also find links to Ko-fi, Bitcoin, and our swag store. And check out our very own Mastodon. We have our own server. That is a dog ringing a bell to tell me he needs to go out, but he can wait until we're finished with this. Scrolling on my right is the list of amazing charged up supporters, and shout outs go out to our self-driving tier supporters: Mike Weeder, Patrick Boyarski, Chris Maxwell, Brian Newton, Michael Goad, Bennett Elder, Andrew Martin, Pedro Muir Pinheiro, Brophy Wolf, Chris and Michael Johnson, Tesla in the Gong, Dan Blair, Peter Dillinger, Gordon C, Stephen O'Donoghue, Kyle Hodgson, Anthony Coates, Aragine Fellows, Denny Hyde, Chris Asenta and Jim Vaness. Finally, super out of this world thanks to our Starman level supporters: Andrew Glenn, Anonymous Freak, JP Fagerback, Joe Bresney, John Lyons, Rory Litwin, Kevin Burrowbridge, Dave Kitchen, Laura Reynolds, Marcel Ward, Matthew Drobnek, Paul Conway, Reggie Watts, Will Graylin, and last but not least, Ian. I'll be back soon with more awesome content, as will the rest of the team. I'm going to go and let a dog take care of his business. But until next time, enjoy the rest of your weekend, and as always, keep evolving.